The emergency declared on the night of June 26 in 1975 is remembered as a dark chapter in Indian democracy. The constitution was misused to suppress dissent, and efforts were made to reshape it to enable authoritarian rule. Citizens were stripped of their fundamental rights, freedom of speech was denied, and the press was censored. The public had access only to the information that Indira Gandhi's government approved and allowed to be published. All dissenting leaders, along with activists, journalists, and academicians who raised their voices against the emergency, were arrested. The harshness of the period continues to serve as a grim reminder of the events that unfolded. Following the declaration of emergency, the government arrested key opposition leaders under laws like under Maintenance of Internal Security Act, Defense of Indian Rules. Prominent figures including Morarji Desai, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Lal Krishna Advani, George Fernandez, Jayaprakash Narayan, and even Congress leader Chandrasekhar were jailed and held at undisclosed locations. A law was enacted denying arrested individuals the right to court hearings or bail. Their families and associates were kept uninformed. Visits were heavily monitored by intelligence officials, and the communication was censored too. At the onset of emergency, Articles 14, 21, and 22 of the Constitution were suspended. This move took away the guarantees of equality before the law, protection of life and property, and the right to be presented before a court within 24 hours of arrest. In January 1976, Article 19 was also suspended, revoking freedom of speech, publication, association, and assembly. With the emergency, strict censorship was clamped down on newspapers and new laws were introduced. All four major news agencies, PTI, UNI, Hindustan Samachar, and Samachar Bharati, were merged into a single news agency, and a press code of conduct was introduced. Editors were arrested for dissent. The film Kissa Kursi Ka was seized, singer Kishore Kumar was blacklisted, and the film Andhi was also banned. During the emergency, police brutality and repression were widespread, with detainees facing inhuman treatment. Even the lawyers and judges were targeted. A notorious aspect of emergency was the forced involvement of teachers and low level staff in implementing family planning measures. Forced sterilizations and oppressive measures, disguised as family planning and beautification, led to widespread abuse of government power and severe hardship for ordinary people. In the 1971 elections, Indira Gandhi defeated Raj Narayan from the Rai Bareli seat, who later challenged her victory, citing misuse of government resources. In 1975, the Allahabad High Court invalidated her election and barred her from contesting elections for next 6 years. The Supreme Court upheld this but allowed her to remain the Prime Minister, attend Lok Sabha sessions, though without voting rights. Facing widespread public anger over unemployment, inflation, and corruption, and with the opposition demanding a resignation, Indira Gandhi's position was further weakened by the Allahabad High Court verdict of continuing as Prime Minister. To cling to power, she imposed the emergency, marking a dark chapter in Indian democracy. The emergency, which began at midnight on June 25, lasted until March 21, 1977. This 21-month-long period was a dictatorial phase in India's democratic history that deeply affected the lives of ordinary citizens. However, the decision to impose the emergency proved disastrous for the Congress party. In 1977, the elections that followed, Congress faced a major defeat, and for the first time, a non Congress government led by Morarji Desai came to power. Bureau Report, DD India.